If you're 30, there's a good chance you're probably feeling like you're a little bit behind, especially compared to your parents. Your parents bought a house by now. They was married. They had their whole life together at your age, and you feel kind of like you're behind because you're not matching up to where they currently are or where they were at your age. You're a millennial. And there's lots that have been said about millennials. We're entitled. We're lazy. We're the unlucky generation. All these different labels that have been given to us. And the reason why we are in the predicament that we currently are in, not all of us, some of us are in good places, but a lot of people that I know are in a bad place or feeling like they're behind or they're not doing what they're supposed to do. The reason why this is happening is because people are running a old script. People are trying to play by the same rules as their predecessors, as their parents, which really doesn't make a lot of sense when you think about it because the rules of the game have changed. Millennials, we're not playing by the same rules as our parents, but yet we are gauging our success on the things that our parents deemed measures of success. Here you are feeling like a failure, feeling like you're behind, but your measuring stick is different. We have completely different circumstances than our parents. The economy has changed completely. They were able to go to school for cheap. They were able to buy a house for cheap. The salaries haven't gone up, but yet we're expected to do the same thing that they did, which makes no sense. In order to get over this insecurity, you're going to have to change your measure of success and look at it from a different viewpoint because really and truly, we're different than our parents. We don't really want the same things, but because of social pressure and because of expectations, we judge where we are in life based on things that our parents did. The thing is, the advantage that we have on our parents is that we're living in the digital age. We have far more access to information about health, and we have far more options when it comes to making a living and investing. Now, our investments might not be tangible things like a house or stocks or whatnot, but there is no excuse not to be able to invest in yourself in today's age. There's so many resources out there in the internet that will help you invest in yourself so that you could gain skills in the digital age so that you could thrive. While our parents' generation was investing in things, you could invest in yourself, and it's a choice. I learned copywriting. I took 6 months, I studied it, I learned it, and now I get paid to write because I took the time to invest in myself to gain the skill. See, money can be invested, so can time. And because of the amount of information we have available to us nowadays, we could invest time to become more valuable to the marketplace. For us, time should be more important than money. And that's how all wealthy people think. Time is more important than money. There are so many avenues to separate your time from your money nowadays because of the internet and all the technology that we do have. So we have to learn to utilize that. A lot of us feel stuck in the country that we're in, and I have to ask, why do you have to stay in this country? There's so many remote jobs that people could pursue and make Canadian and US dollars and take it to somewhere where the cost of living is significantly lower instead of staying in a country where you're going to break your back, even though the salaries haven't raised, but the cost of living and the cost of real estate has gone up significantly. There's no point in taking the hard route. Ultimately, it's up to you. There's so many options and things that we could do nowadays that are different from what our parents had. They were stuck in a box. You stay in this little area, this little pond, and you work in that pond for 30 years, and then eventually you retire at a certain age. We don't have to do that. We could travel. We could make digital sources of income. We could invest in ourselves. These are the things that we could do different in the past generation, but a lot of us are too caught up in doing what they did when the game is rigged, when the odds are stacked against you. I'm not saying that it's impossible to do things the way they did it. I'm not saying that it's wrong. I'm the last person that'll say anything like that because I believe we could do anything. But there are options. And a lot of the things that people are pursuing nowadays, you don't even want that. You actually don't even want that. You don't want the house. You don't want the traditional lifestyle that your parents have. You're just doing it because that was the script that you were fed. As for me, I don't have any desires for being cold for the rest of my life and living in the rat race for the rest of my life. I'm fortunate enough to have escaped because I'm an entrepreneur. And so I call my own shots. But at the same time, I want a better way of living. I'm going to be leaving my country within the next 2 years and taking the money from over here that we could make from anywhere and putting it in a different economy where that money stretched way further. My lifestyle could increase tenfold in comparison to what I got here. And a lot of us could do this. It'll just take some sacrifices, and people are tied to their families and whatnot. And that's cool, but you got to make the choice for what's best for you. Because when you look at aging people like that are 100 years old, the number one regret that they have is not doing things that they wanted to do because they were living for somebody else. And I know you probably don't want that to become your situation. Look, these are the facts. The game has changed, and we don't have to play by the same rules as the people that constantly criticize us and say that we are lazy and we're this and we're that. And then we're supposed to play the same game that they play. You only get one life. If you feel uncomfortable doing the things that are part of the script, then change the script. You don't have to conform to what they want you to do. You don't have to live life based on how previous generations lived life. We have so many more options. We have so much more information. And if you take advantage of that, you can live the second half of your life in a way that you see fit that's going to bring you fulfillment because the script is dead. The game has changed. And in nature and life, it's adapt or die. What are you going to do? With all that being said, thank you for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.